Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. XRP becoming a core treasury asset for corporates. We'll get into it. And how about this? A new industrial revolution countdown. Oh, Swift and more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $4.23 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.9%. Bitcoin 120,000 plus, Ethereum 4,400 plus. XRP is $3.04. Now we're up 1.8 on the 24, but we're up 11.9 like much of the rest of the market here on the 7-day. Let's take a look at this. The range of price between 295 and 309. We're sitting at 303. We will keep an eye on it. We have some great TA to look at before we get out of here today. I want to remind everybody about Caleb and Brown. Hey, are you looking for free institutional grade custody at no cost? Well, here it is. What are you waiting for? All you got to do is go sign up. Use the link that we have underneath the video, or just simply remember to go to XRPwealth589.com, XRPwealth589.com, and start getting the best night's sleep of your life. Because not only do they have free institutional grade custody with multiple layers of security and verification of your transactions, but I tell you what, you can put special restrictions on that account to make it even safer than it already is. So this is the kind of personal touch service they're providing at Caleb and Brown, and you can get it too. And all you got to do is click the link underneath the video to get started and start getting the best night's sleep of your life since you've been in crypto. Look at this right here. As the world is moving from paper money to digital rails. This is exactly right. SWIFT, ACH, SEPA equal obsolete. DLT, CBDCs, tokenization equal the future. At the center of that pivot, XRP. If you like real estate, take a look at this token, NFA, as well. But you know what? I'm not endorsing that. What I'm saying is that I was flying home yesterday from Texas. I had to go out there on business. And I had a gentleman sitting next to me, as an older gentleman, who kicked up a conversation with me. And normally I won't engage on an airplane, but this guy, he had a vibe and he was super cool. And he was asking some really cool questions. And we had a wonderful conversation for the last half of our flight. And I was explaining to him that, you know, we are changing and moving to this new digital world. And he was like in his 70s. So he was like, I've heard about some of this stuff, but I really can't get my mind wrapped around it. I think before we got off that plane, he was sorry he sat next to me. And I even told him, I said, listen, I got to be honest, you're opening up a lid here. You know what I mean? It's like, not everybody's going to want this. I said, at any time you don't want any more of this, you just turn it off. Right. So, but nonetheless, shout out to John. It was great to meet you. He's probably listening today, but nonetheless, it was a really great conversation. And I hope it inspires him to dig deeper. NASDAQ has completed a VVPR, which is Vivo Power. NASDAQ's listed Vivo Power, I should say, has completed a $19 million equity raise through an additional common stock offering at $6.05 per share. The fund will support Vivo Power's digital asset treasury strategy, can't talk this morning, including acquiring, managing, and holding XRP for the long term. I think the gentleman down here's got it right. NASDAQ listed company doubling down on XRP as a core treasury asset? Yeah, I think he's got it. That's exactly what we're seeing. And I think it only gets bigger after we get the Clarity Act. Now, this CFTC launches an initiative for using tokenized collateral, including stable coins in the derivatives market. And it also is, we covered this the other day, it also opens up to tokenized treasuries as well. So huge changes in the market to allow for instant activity and damn near instant settlement the moment they get this Clarity Act signed into law. So here we see the CME group rolling out the 24/7 crypto traded starting in Q1 of 2026 in just 3 months. And I'm reminding everybody that just the swap market, by the way, the CME sells swaps too. So just the swap market is $400 trillion deep, right? That's what we're talking about. Go real USD. Yeah. And we're on the cusp of a really exciting new industrial revolution. And I think this is absolutely right. Shout out to Chris Giancarlo. Take a listen to this clip.
Well, it's all flowing back to the U.S. I think we're truly in a new day. I think the United States, with this new wave of innovation coming over Capitol Hill, coming over the regulators, is truly going to emerge as the leading the vanguard of the next wave of financial market structure, financial market innovation. And, I'll just give you one example. I saw some recent economic reports that the cost of moving money around the globe takes up about 1% to 2% of the world's GDP just to transport money, just to move it around. With new financial technology, with stable coins, distributed ledger technology, we're going to get back that 1% to 2% and put that back into growth and innovation. And so I think we're on the cusp of a really exciting revolution in the way financial markets are conducted and operated. And I'm just so excited to see the United States in the vanguard of this and pushing the envelope. Now, there always are going to be consequences in every new industrial revolution. There's always challenges, valuations. Sometimes the markets get ahead of the innovation, and there's no question that crypto itself is still complicated and clunky, and it's not yet in the form of an appliance. It's still people have to do a lot of their own programming. But that's going to change. E-commerce was clunky when it first came around. Trying to do e-commerce with dial-up modems. The innovation, the underlying infrastructure had to catch up, but that's going to happen.
There you have it right there. And one of the ways it's going to happen is tapping into that $400 trillion swaps market. Yeah, with stable coins and tokenized treasuries. Let me tell you how else we're going to be seeing this too show up. In Swift's strategy isn't about picking one winner, but rather striving for universal connectivity across miscellaneous ledgers. It's not going to be one ledger to rule them all. It says it right here. Listen to the guy from Swift say it.
Yeah, I mean, look, interoperability is the kind of crux of everything, right? As you said, there's not going to be one ledger to rule them all. And quite naturally, interoperability is the kind of area of focus from a community standpoint over the past number of years. We've obviously, at Swift, been doing quite a bit in this space. We've been doing this from a traditional financial infrastructure for a long time. Again, from a correspondent banking standpoint, various RTGS systems, CSDs, we're providing that connectivity from a communication standpoint. And now enter DLTs and all these different tokenization platforms that are taking place. We've done a number of experiments in innovation over the previous couple of years to demonstrate how you can have that same infrastructure provide connectivity and interoperability between the traditional space and the digital, the tokenized space, but also, importantly, between all the kind of new DLT platforms themselves. And so we've done a variety of different efforts. Obviously, we've been quite public around a partnership that we had with Chainlink from a few years ago and some of the work that we've done there, leveraging the cross-chain aspect. And so we think that there's a huge piece there from obviously a technical interoperability. But then to your point around standards, this is also fundamental, right? Part of why all these different systems today in the TradFi space work is because there's a standardized language and a standardized way of communicating. And that the same is going to hold true as we move into the digital space. And so there's obviously a piece around standards for smart contracts, standards for tokens. I think we're starting to see a gradual evolution towards what some kind of potential standards could be, just based on obviously adoption, and that's something that we'll continue to drive and be participating with the community. One thing I'll just kind of give a plug to: there's a demo that will happen tomorrow for a standardization aspect that we've been working on with a couple of large CSDs to cover some of the business taxonomy around these things and how various tokens could be implemented onto different technology ledgers, irrespective of what that technology is. It's something that I think the community is longing for, and there's a need. And I think the work is just getting started in earnest.
No question about it here. Now let's take a look at this DLT and multi-chain world they're talking about. Ripple's partnership with Thunes integrates XRPs into Swift global network of 11,000 banks. Don't believe it, it's still true. Ripple's partnership with Thune integrates XRP into Swift global network of 11,000 banks. The SEC granted Ripple a no-action letter allowing registered advisors and broker-dealers to hold XRP in institutional custody. The integration with Swift opens new liquidity pathways for Ripple, allowing access to traditional banking infrastructure. Ripple's move to connect with XRP with Swift helps address scalability issues with boost global adoption. Now, The regulatory approval removes key barriers for large institutions to adopt and securely store XRP. So the stage is set, but it gets better. For those of you that are still wondering, are you sure that we're in this thing? Because we heard some stuff the other week about, Lena on Ethereum, going to be used. I'm sure it will be. And listen, we know that Chainlink is an Oracle network, right? And we are a payments network infrastructure. They're two different they're two different things. When you hear the Chainlink crowd going off, just, say a prayer for them, right? I mean, God bless them. Everybody's working together. There's going to be multiple protocols. You know what I mean? Again, I just really quickly, someone just chanting just XRP doesn't understand that we also are going to need oracles, right? Someone who chanting just Chainlink doesn't understand we're going to need XRP network too, and other networks, not just those two, right? So just like we have the internet today with multiple different protocols to make up the internet of information and the experience that we have every day online. Well, now that we move to the internet of value, there will be multiple protocols brought into that will give us the experience of the internet of value, not just one. So I'm super excited about it all. But here it is right here. If you're curious, you can see that XRP is written in the code for ISO 20022, according to Smoke Dog right here, who's got it on lock always. Give him a follow. Shout out to Smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire, ladies and gentlemen. And here he is again, just in case anybody's confused here. They even lay out the ISO 2022 compliant cryptocurrencies upgrade to the SWIFT network. And here's the role that they play. So in case you're curious, you know what I mean? You can see, right? Example project for cross-border payments, XRP, trade finance, XDC, compliance reporting, Quant and Algorand, and banking automation, it is XLM and XRP, right? Or Stellar and Ripple. So there you have it. This is, and I guess it would be Stellar and Ripple in the banking stack for automation. So this to me is like, what else do we need to see other than the passing of the Clarity Act, ladies and gentlemen? That's what we're waiting on to open the possibility for all of this. And lo and behold, it is November of this year, next month, that SWIFT does an absolute big bang cutover to use ISO 20022 as it sets the stage for an industry-wide leap forward. That's exactly what we're talking about here. And it is a cutover, a November 25 cutover. This is absolutely the next critical date when they will fully require all cross-border payments and cash reporting messages to use the ISO 20022 standard, retiring legacy MT message system for good. Okay, so there it is. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this market. The government shutdown really quickly has affected the markets. The markets seem to be coming back a bit now. But where are we? So right now, the pinkish square, as you can see right here in this diagram, is really important. 313 to 320. And he loves seeing the bears get wrecked, and so do I, right? And now the same goes for the bulls. You need to get wrecked too, because we haven't closed even one candle above 313 or 320. And he's been saying it, until we close above this level on the 3-day chart, we're just ranging. So it's important to understand that. How many times has he mentioned the macro noise between 265 and 365? And we're still swimming in that macro noise channel, right? So just wait until Bitcoin gets rejected, ETH gets rejected, and then XRP follows suit. We could head lower, which might actually be better. The last impulsive move will be explosive, and you will make so much amount of money, he says, where you say, please, Egg Rag Crypto, I can't win anymore. But remember, if we don't close above the pinkish square on the 3-day chart, there's nothing to see, and we're just ranging with the potential to go lower. So there you have it. And there's the chart right there where you can see it. So there's our little window. So we got to keep an eye on it. But, again, I think all of this points to exactly what he's talking about here, which is the noise, because we need that Clarity Act and the ETFs approved to really give the confidence to the market that the largest players in the world can now step off the sideline and get involved 24/7, 365. And here it is. So when we get above that noise channel, XRP to 1030, and here we look at this, and this is the chasm line. And if we get that explosion of fundamental good news and the real movement forward of use and utility in this space, 10:30 could be a mark that we hit without even blinking an eye. But it's not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going into the freedom zone today. And today we're going to tackle AI and what the world could look like not too long from now. You could join us in the freedom zone too. Click the link underneath the video. You could join in YouTube, Patreon, or on X. And you get all your daily videos with 0 Google ads plus the extra content. And it's all less than a cup of coffee per month. And I know that because I just looked at the board at Starbucks, and my God, coffee is expensive. But not here, ladies and gentlemen. So again, not financial advice from me or anyone else. We're going in right now. So come on in.